Hey guys, welcome back to Zed Nation Zone. I'm still calling it this. It could very much change soon. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I've just done a video about explaining the future of this channel that I could very much be changing it. Today, I'm ranking my top 5 favourite zombie shows. There are many more than 5, but these are 5 that stick to me in a good way. There are some negatives which I'll explain. If you are new, please do subscribe and give this video a like. I'm aiming to try and reach 100 subscribers by the end of 2022. It's a target. I believe we can get there. Thank you all so much for the support in past videos. I love you all so much. And let's get into the list. I'll stop waffling. At number 5, we have All of Us Are Dead, which is the Korean zombie show from Netflix, which came out at the start of this year or late last year, I can't remember, but it's very, very fresh. It's very, very new. Season 2 is coming. It's exciting. Now, it's bottom of my list because for me, some of the decisions made in the show is a little bit annoying. Plus, without trying to sound like racist or anything, like they speak in Korean and there's no problem with that. It's just that I can't, if I watch a show, I can't have subtitles. I can't have audio description over it. I have to watch it in its original format, which means I have subtitles. So trying to keep up with the story, because I dig really deep into things, and to be, trying to keep up with what they're saying at the same time, it sort of does annoy me a little bit. I'm picking at straws. It's not like a bad thing, but again, some of the decisions they made. But overall, the locations are really good. I actually quite like. I prefer when zombie shows don't ruin the whole world, like The Walking Dead or Zed Nation. In All of Us Are Dead, it's just like a certain city, like a few cities. The rest of the world, or even other parts of the country, are fine, and they're brought to, they get took to quarantine camps, and I like that. I like that there's still civilization at the end of this. It makes the story much more interesting, and there's still a lot more to do, because it could be that in season 2 the world does end, but I don't know, it's just sort of prolonging it, and it just makes it so much more fun to watch, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments your thought. At number 4, we are going into the Walking Dead universe with Fear the Walking Dead. Now, I am very, very new to the Walking Dead universe. I'm only, the show started 11 or 12 years ago. I've literally just started watching it about a year ago, so I'm really, really new. So with Fear the Walking Dead, I'm only in season 3, so I can't really give an overall, because there's 7 or 8 seasons now, but I'm only in season 3. Of what I've saw, I really like it. I do know that Morgan comes in season 4, because there's a big time gap between season 3 and 4. But the overall first 3 seasons of when Rick was in his coma, I think, yeah, they're really entertaining. I think probably in season 1, I probably wanted more of the world sort of ending sort of thing. It was focused on the families, which is good, and the family characters, they're really, really good, and the development they've made over the seasons really has got me, and I've fallen in love with these characters. But I would have liked to have seen a bit more of sort of the overall world, of how the overall world was like during season 1, maybe even season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, of how the apocalypse started. We get how it started, but I think I just wanted more of it, which probably drags it down a bit for me. But at the same time, I'm just into season 3 now, really, really enjoying that as well. So it's positive. At number 3, it's Black Summer. Oh yes, the show that's the most different on this list for their style, for the originality of so many ideas that they have. And I prefer this to Fear the Walking Dead in terms of how it depicts the world as it is now, and showing how the world is slowly crushing and how scared everyone is. Like in Fear the Walking Dead, I didn't feel that as much as I did in Black Summer. Everyone was so scared, nobody knew how to take the zombies out. The whole overall feeling of it all felt so much better than Fear the Walking Dead, because they're both sort of in that sort of trying to show the same sort of thing as start of a zombie apocalypse. And for me, Black Summer does it in the way that there's a lot more urgency, and it just generally feels scary. And that's not saying Fear the Walking Dead doesn't do that, but Black Summer just does it better. So yeah, and the storylines as well, really, really like that. I've reviewed Black Summer before. You know my views on it. Yeah, it's a pretty good show. At number 2, you can probably tell the final 2, and you'll probably be shocked by my number 2. It's actually Zed Nation. Now, I don't know what to say. Zed Nation is, I mean, I'm not really here to review it because I've reviewed Zed Nation several times on this channel. You know my views. I think it's a banging show. I really think it's fantastic. It's the only show out of this list that doesn't take itself seriously, but not the way that, because you probably think it's obviously a zombie apocalypse is silly, and I've had people in my family say this. My aunt has said that she didn't like Zed Nation because of how silly it took itself. I think it's just on the cusp of sort of when it gets too goofy and stupid, you just oh, really sort of thing, instead of actually laughing. And I think Zed Nation is really, really good at giving that balance. There are a few times that I think, okay, but I quite like that. The bit where they roll down the rolling cheese and it crushes loads of zombies. Like, why not? It's fun, and I think that's good. But it knows when to be emotional. It knows when to put the comedy aside, and I like that. I think as well, when they want to be, when there's a really sad scene, and there are sad scenes, there are some sad deaths. They do film that very well, and you still get that rush of sadness, even though it's a comedy. So I think when it wants to do something, it does it really well. But the comedy is fantastic, and Doc is a god. But it isn't number one. And yeah, I know I created this whole channel based on Zed Nation, but my favourite zombie show is The Walking Dead. Now, I'm only into season 8 of The Walking Dead. I have heard the stories that it rolls downhill from around, I think when, spoilers by the way, okay, please do not, alright, spoilers, I'm letting you know now, Walking Dead spoilers. When Glenn, and you've had your warning, alright? You've had your warning. I'm sorry, you've had your warning. When Glenn and Abraham get killed in season 7 premiere, that is when apparently they start to decline. The viewing figures start to decline. Fair enough. But as the story overall and the characters, and just apparently it was getting really slow and sloppy. And season 7 did have its moments where I did like not really care. But season 8, fantastic. I mean, we've got this all-out war that's just started, and I'm loving it. I really like it. I know, and Negan's been quite mixed as well. He's a lot more loved in the comics than the actual show, because apparently he brings that goofiness that from the comics into the show, but should have just stayed in the comics in the first place. I think he's brilliant. I think that, I mean, I know he stays in the show for a long time, so I'm wondering sort of how will he, because everyone's out to kill him, how will he not be killed? Sort of how will he carry on? Where will he go next? Because I very much imagine the Saviours and this whole war will end in season 8. So what will happen to him next? I'm really intrigued by that. Lucille, his wife. I want to learn more about her. Why did he name the bat after her? What was she like? There's so much still more to do with him. He's a sort of character that you can really juice out and get a lot more out of him. But at the same time, I love what you get with him as well. And also, the stories, the payoff from the stories. Yeah, it drags a bit at times, but the payoff is just immense. It's seriously some of the best television I've ever watched. The twists, the fact that no character is safe except for Rick and Daryl, but most characters aren't safe. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it so much. So that is my ranking, my top 5 favourite zombie shows. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you completely disagree? I did do a video recently about changing the channel to do more stuff like The Walking Dead, to speak about it more. So what are your thoughts on that? Would you mind me doing that? Any video ideas that you want me to do, let me know in the comments. I'll see you all in the next video, guys. Goodbye.